impressive victory for the 49ers in this past game against the Saints. I know that many, we want to see the 49ers dominate, be this force in the field, in the offense, in the defense, putting a lot of points. But you cannot deny that sometimes a defensive battle is also fun to watch, especially when your team wins the game. That it was the case in this against the Saints. How many trips to the red zone from the Saints and they scored 0 points? It was a hell of a game. And like I said in previous episodes, I don't know why, but this matchup between the 49ers and the Saints, they always provide with good games, with good matchups. They're always very fun to watch, even if it's a defensive battle as we saw in this game. Jimmy Garoppolo, he played decent. He was lucky Jimmy again. Remember, in previous games, a lot of the secondary of the teams of the opponents, they drop the interceptions against Jimmy Garoppolo. A couple of Jalen Ramsey, they should have been interceptions. Well, in this game, not only Lucky Jimmy strike one, but he strikes twice. The pass to Juwan Jennings in the red zone, it was tipped by Theron Matthew. I don't know, I'm just saying, probably a taller defensive back, it would have intercepted the ball, or at least tip it out of play. Might be. In the interception against Jimmy Garoppolo, that it was reversed by the holding penalty, that changed the whole situation in the game. The Saints, they were in the danger line of the 49ers, and at least they will gain a field goal. It was overturned, and the rest is history. Unfortunately, Elijah Mitchell goes down with an injury, but the offense, it didn't look like in previous games, right? I mean, they only scored 13 points, touchdown, a couple of field goals, and they didn't seem bad, but also they didn't look good. And again, like I said in previous episodes, this defense of the Saints is way much better than the record says. They are way much better putting pressure on the quarterback, getting sacks, blitzing. They are a very good team in defense. They have their problems in offense. But this team, it has potential that in the near future they will compete in high level. If they can figure out their situation with the quarterback, it will be a team that it can compete for the playoffs in near future. They have the talent in wide receivers with Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry. Well, we don't know if Jarvis is going to be in the near future with the Saints, but they have the talent. They are young players, Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram. They're very good running backs. Juwan Johnson, the tight end, he dropped, well, he technically dropped a pass in the end zone that hit him in the face. So this team, in probably in the record, you can say that it's a bad team, but they're not. They're way much better than many people gives them credit. And we saw our offense, it was not completely in rhythm. It was, I mean, they struggled to move the ball. The whole season, the 49ers, they didn't have back-to-back 3-and-outs. In this game, they have a couple of those. It tells you that this defense is good. The linebackers are good. The defensive line is good. They have injuries in the secondary, but they still, the players, some of them, they're veterans. They've been there. They know what they're doing. They're good players. Hell of a game. Hell of a game. Sometimes I like to see these defense battles and going into the red zone, intercepting passes, uh, forcing fumbles. Great game. I enjoyed so much. And by the way, I don't like to be that guy, but I told you so. I didn't expect this game to be a complete domination from the 49ers. For me, it was more that defense against defense. And the defense that bends and breaks the first, they will lose the game. Simple as that. Not only the 49ers defense didn't bend, well, a couple of times that the Saints, they got into the red zone, but they got the shutout. They dominate. They shut down many of the offensive weapons, including Alvin Kamara. Tyson Hill was not a factor for this game. As a matter of fact, Andy Dalton ran for more yards than Alvin Kamara and Tyson Hill. That tells you something. Very, very good game. Very impressive with the victory. Not only the 49ers get it done, they win and they get the points necessary to win the game, but it tells you that this defense is the best in the game, is the best in the NFL. And it can compete against any team. One question that I had during I was watching the game is, how about this defense? This defense playing right now against the Kansas City Chiefs again. They, I mean, probably we still lose, but this defense, it will put a show against the Kansas City Chiefs. We will see next game against the Dolphins. We will see. But there is no doubt that this defense is the best in the game. Now, the injury to Elijah Mitchell, we will see how that injury will affect the whole offense. They were in rhythm. They found their identity. They were playing very good. And finally, we will see what we have in Jordan Mason and Tay Davis Price. It might be that Davis Price is a hell of a player. And he will complement perfectly Christian McCaffrey. Other point of concern, Christian McCaffrey was a little bit banged up at the end of the game. So hopefully it's not something to be worried about. But we need to be very careful with these running backs. They're made of crystal, unfortunately. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe. And like always, see you in the next one.